Everybody here this morning, not very motivated, so hopefully by the end of the show you all will pick up my motivation level and I can get stuff accomplished this morning. Just me and Craig here this morning so far. Anthony and Derek are out doing some parts running, but they should be joining us sometime during the show. So I don't know. I had picked a topic. I don't know if we're going to stick with it. It was just kind of a whim. I wanted to play with my thumbnail, so I wanted to add some graphics to it. So that's how I came up with our topic of the eBay Mercari prep for the holidays. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm not feeling very inspirational this morning, so I need you guys to pick up the slack here. But Craig, you want to welcome them in?
I'll do the best I can.
All right.
Let's see what's going on. Good morning, everybody. Rump Stump, Miss Jamie, good morning. She was first. Today, for being first, you win the ability to come back to our show tomorrow. That's all you win. That has no cash value. It can't be traded in. Eat Sleep Amazon, good morning, Tiffany. Thanks for coming back. In it to flip it. Good to see you again this morning. Veronica, the cherry picker, good morning. How are you? Wes Max Gary, good morning. Eric Bischoff, good to see you again, man. Kelly the Econ Mom Ward, good morning. I appreciate you coming on the other day when you did. That was a lot of fun. T's Flips up in northern Alabama, if I remember right. Good morning. Tommy Bernard, good morning. Anybody else? David Rubino, good to see you again. And DC Sales, good morning. Hope everybody's having a great guy. I almost had to think of what day it was. That's sad. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. And my phone's going off too. But anything going on today? Anything besides it being midweek, Wednesday, hump day, all the above? We're getting closer and closer to fourth quarter, right?
Yeah, I got nothing out of the norm going on today. Just same old grind. You know?
I think I'm gonna try some stuff.
Oh, okay. You're a little choppy, Craig.
Am I?
Yeah, a little bit. Not horribly, but a little bit.
Let me
Good morning, everybody. That is Destiny's aunt, I believe. Is that correct?
I'm gonna refresh my screen. If I go out, just be looking to let me back in.
Yep. I'm watching. Yeah, this morning's just one of them mornings I am not energized. And he's back.
Is that better?
I don't know. Talk a little bit. Entertain, and I'll tell you if you get choppy.
Entertain? What am I? I'm not a stand-up comedian.
Stand on your head and burp some nickels or something.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Like I say, eBay Mercari prep for holidays. It was just kind of a general wing it thing. I tried to actually schedule it out instead of waiting to the last minute, and then I come up with a topic that I don't really do anything for. I know a lot of people prep for the holidays and either stock up or list differently or do whatever. I don't really do anything different.
Right. I'm the same way. I wonder if it has a bigger impact on the Amazon seller. You know?
I would think probably it would maybe make more of a difference on the Amazon side. I don't know because I'm not an Amazon.
I mean, theoretically, should you not be doing the same thing the rest of the year that you do fourth quarter if you do something different fourth quarter, you know?
Right. That's what I always hear is everybody's like, oh, it's the big fourth quarter push. You got to ramp up. You got to do this. And it's like, why wouldn't you try to do that all year?
Right.
You know?
I guess people put so much focus on it because there's a lot more buying during that time, you know, buying for Christmas presents, all that kind of stuff, you know, and they, but you know,
but a lot of what I sell, I don't think people are buying for presents regardless. I think I'm more selling to the end user, maybe some things, but not too much for I'm going to buy it and give it to this person for Christmas, because I just don't think that's the route my product goes in.
Right. And that's why I was thinking, unless you're selling new items on eBay, in my mind, I divide eBay and Amazon. If I throw out there, where would you go for a new item? 90% of the people are going to say, I'm going to go to Amazon.
Tiffany asked, do we know any Amazon sellers?
I don't know. If you're an Amazon seller, put a 1 in the chat. We'll find out.
Right.
People don't buy toothpaste for Christmas. Yeah, teeth need brushing year round.
So since we don't really do anything different, Tiffany, if you wanted to come in and tell us if there's a different outlook on the Amazon side when it comes to fourth quarter, maybe you could shed some light on that. Because I really don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Amazon, I got kind of caught up in the craze last year. I was lucky enough to get the monopoly for millennials, in a good time where I can make money on it. It seems like that's the biggest thing for fourth quarter on Amazon is the toys. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's why Amazon puts that limitation on you that you have to, if you're going to do merchant fulfilled during the fourth quarter, you have to have so many sales within a certain time period.
Yeah, something like that. Or you have to, something. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I wish.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into Amazon. I just want to make sure that when I do it correctly, I know all the rules. I know all the vitals. I don't want to get in there and screw something up off the bat. And I also want to be totally ready to do it because I want to do it like I don't want to be one of these people that are going to start out slow with books. Books aren't my thing. Books bore me. I'm going to want to pretty much jump in both feet and make it a go.
Right. You just got to find the right products for the right price. I mean, it's the same kind of thing with eBay, but you just got to, it's typically a little easier if you're scanning items, you're scanning books. Like y'all always talk about doing that in Walmart.
What's up?
What's happening?
Not much, man.
Hurry up and get Derek in here so we can make it small and y'all can get close together.
We were just talking about how Anthony ramps things up for the holidays.
Yeah. We need you to confirm what we were saying. So go ahead and tell us what you do.
What do I do to ramp it up? I run more sales. This is the big time of year I run sales, but I also source my butt off. I love Black Friday because I'll go out and, for example, like last year they had the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man combos. So I'd go, and granted, like I'm broke, but I was able to save up enough to get 3 of those to flip. But yeah, I mean, Black Friday deals. I do a lot of RA in that. Oh, here. Let me. Oh, did you mute yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi guys.
Just get here when you can.
What'll probably work best for you guys, because that's the problem me and Destiny used to have, is one of you mute your microphone and your sound and talk off the other person.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I got you.
Does that sound better? Can you hear him? It's good?
Yeah, the echo's gone. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yep.
Y'all next to each other anyway.
Y'all just got to snuggle up.
Yep.
Get a little closer, closer.
After hearing them all night, forget it.
So what time did you boys cuddle in last night?
I don't know, like 10:30 maybe.
I'm so proud of you guys. You had your first sleepover.
I know.
That's cool.
Did you wear your pajama pants with the footies? The pajamas with footies and the rear flap.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen those onesies? I think those are so funny. The one, the full body. You see the grown men wearing them?
Yeah, a couple of them, doesn't she?
Yep. Ash has a Care Bear one.
Those are so funny. I mean, they're crazy. DC Sales says Legos from Black Friday sell real well. Definitely.
Are we live already?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are, sir. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly says lots of stores are clearing to make room for the holidays. Yeah, if we we're gonna go to our Walmart probably tomorrow or Friday, but yeah, our stores are pretty much like wiped out right now.
Well, I think you see a lot of clearance coming out of the holidays, coming out of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
After Christmas, going into January. That's the that's the time to really hit the clearance hard because they're shutting down things for the year.
Yeah, but what I've seen, and because I know someone who works assets protection at Walmart, they cleared out a lot of clearance now because they're ramping up and they're making their toy department an extra 4 aisles this year.
And that's why a lot of Walmarts and different stores do clearance is to free up the shelf space because they got to get more product in.
Right. Well, you have to remember that last year they had Toys R Us still open.
Right. Has that been just a year ago? Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have to look at it and sit there and go, all right, now that we don't have really any toy stores except for Walmart, Target, Marshalls, even we're starting to see Marshalls starting to fill up. We were there yesterday, and you can start seeing they're starting to expand their toy department because they need to.
Right. And those talking about not Marshall specifically, but if you're going out looking for toys, go to those places where you typically don't think of, stocking toys. Marshall's going to have a small, typically Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, things like that are going to have small toy sections, and sometimes they don't turn over merchandise as fast in those sections because that's not their primary market, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you can find stuff that has been on the shelf for 6-8 months a year. That's got good value.
I mean, we went yesterday and we were comping some of the items that they had on clearance in Marshalls, and really, there wasn't really a good comp on them.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of them were at eBay or just a little bit under eBay.
Yeah.
Right. I've only looked at SKUs at Ross. I haven't done much at Marshalls. We got a Ross, a Marshalls, a Burlington.
Okay.
It's not Friday.
What up, guys? Thank y'all. I feel honored to be on the show.
Just wait till you get your invoice.
Hey, Tim.
Oh no, Craig. Can I afford it? Just
Yeah, ready?
give
I don't
me
know.
a hint.
This is fourth quarter discussion, so our price went up.
Oh no.
Tiff, take a look.
I know. It's so exciting. I watched the video. That sandwich made me hungry.
It looked good.
He ate that in 2 minutes.
I ate that and a whole bag of what are they? Red wine
biscuits. Yep.
Before he finished his small roast beef sandwich.
I think he had I think Derek was just eating like a biscuit. That's all that sandwich looked like.
Nah. I ate one biscuit. He ate them for the rest of me. He's like, "You want one?" I'm like, "Nope, you're good." Jamie,
What's red wine biscuits? I've never heard of that.
It's like a little Italian cookie.
Oh, nice.
It almost looks like a cookie-shaped donut.
Yeah.
Or
Wow.
no, cookie-shaped cookie.
Donut-shaped cookie.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like wine at all.
Well, don't eat too many of them. I'd hate for you to get a DUI in Rhode Island.
Dude, I ate the entire bag. I just had one.
I had one.
I crushed it.
So
we're gonna be.
I brought Tip in because we're all pretty much eBay, Mercari, whatever.
Yeah.
But we don't really know the Amazon side of it, and I'm real curious. Like, what do you do, Tiffany? Different, like when it's approaching fourth quarter. Do you do anything different?
Yeah. Well, this is gonna be my first fourth quarter. So I can't tell you what I've done, but I know one thing that with Amazon, as with I'm sure other platforms, like Craig was saying, like toys are huge. So some more experienced Amazon sellers have basically told me, like, for toys, just hold your price. Like if you've previously bought toys and you've already sent them in, and right now, like, they're not very profitable, just hold your price. Don't because in fourth quarter, like, Amazon storage fees go up, but yeah. So like for toys, for sure, like the price of toys, hold your price. Don't tank the price, people.
Because so many people are going to Amazon because they can get that guaranteed 2-day shipping.
Yep. Especially procrastinators.
Yeah.
There's some people that wait till the last possible minute to order that gift.
Exactly.
I had a bunch of people last fourth quarter because that was my first fourth quarter being an online reseller.
Yeah.
I got a ton of people all the way up to the 23rd saying, "Hey, can you get this here in time?" And it's like, well, where are you? And if you're willing to pay extra, I'll overnight it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I typically offer 2 to 3 day shipping on everything anyway.
Now, Tiff, do you are you primarily your stuff? I don't want to get into what you sell, but is your stuff primarily RA, OA, or wholesale that you send it?
It's mostly RA and OA. I do a mixture of both. So I'm really heavy in RA and OA, and then this past month since I had a car wreck and I've been without a car, I've been doing a lot of OA. But I do some wholesale as well, but I'm not huge into wholesale because wholesale's great if you can find companies, suppliers that will give you an account. A lot of them won't because they don't want to open an account with an Amazon seller, or if they open an account, there's a lot of brands that they sell that they'll say you're restricted to sell it on Amazon. And wholesale is more of a numbers game. You've really got to reach out to a lot of suppliers.
Right.
So if someone wants to start wholesale, I wouldn't deter anyone from ever trying, but I would say trying to get it going for fourth quarter at this point in the game is probably not your best option, So, and with wholesale too, when you do RA or OA, you can buy something and get 100 or 200% return on investment. With wholesale, that's very rare. I mean, with wholesale, most of the time you're getting 30 to 40%, ROI. So,
Well, and you got to potentially worry about minimum order quantities, et cetera, with wholesale.
Yeah. But to be honest, minimum order quantity, in my experience, is not too bad.
Really?
Before I started Amazon, a lot of the guy who told me about Amazon, he does strictly wholesale, and he tried to deter me. He's like, you can't do wholesale. Nobody will give you an account because you don't have a brick and mortar store. Some other wholesale, people that do Amazon, they were like, you have to have a MOQ of $5,000. That's not true. You can get a wholesale account for $100, $200. It's just a matter of finding the right supplier.
Right. And I think that's the challenge a lot of people face, is getting out, unless you're part of a community.
Yeah.
That provides that information, getting out there and finding those providers that fit into your model of trying to get started with something,
Right. For sure. Absolutely. It's all about finding the right fit for you. And if someone's trying to discourage you from something, a lot of times I would ask yourself, why?
What's their motivation?
They just don't want the competition. The guy who told me about Amazon, he didn't want me to sell on Amazon, and I know that for sure. So, yeah. But no, I'm thinking I don't want to take over the panel. I'm glad you guys invited me, but Amazon side.
I think that's good because, like Tommy was saying, we're all primarily eBay sellers, and and I think the majority of us take the approach of, I really shouldn't be doing anything different. If I work hard enough during the year, I shouldn't change how hard I work during fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Amazon, I think it's so hard to compare Amazon and eBay in a lot of respects.
It really is. It really is. Now, what do you guys do different? I was listening, but I was getting my coffee. What are you guys planning to do different for fourth quarter for eBay?
I just want to ramp up the inventory I'm bringing in. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if we were on air or off air when I said it, but Black Friday deals. Last year, I got the PlayStation 4 combo with Spider-Man. I was able to sell 3 of those.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the greatest ROI, but if you can make at least $100 per unit and they sell quick.
Right.
For me, literally the day I listed them, they sold. So that's really worth it. I want to take advantage of those deals this year, a lot heavier than I did last year. But it's just going to be Lonnie said, what does he do for fourth quarter? He said, honestly, he has no strategy. He just lists, consistently, and he just sees a boost. For me, I was brand new online reseller last fourth quarter, and literally the only thing I did was I ran a couple sales, and I just kept listing stuff. And the sales I had in like November, December compared to like January, February, maybe even March were like astronomically bigger then. And I honestly was just trying to figure out what the heck I was doing with my store then. Because I opened the store in October. So like literally I opened it up in time for preparation for fourth quarter. So
I'd be curious to see. Everybody talks about how much more they get listed, how quote unquote how much harder they work to prep for the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
What if you did that all year? What if you took that approach all year to your business?
Yeah.
What effect would it have? And I'm not trying to say that people aren't working as hard during the year, but what would happen?
You'd probably keel over, Craig. Come on. I mean, if you work, like I said, this is my first fourth quarter, but from what I've heard, I know people that were posting in Facebook groups that like last month they were putting up their Christmas trees and decorations because they were like, we're going to be so busy in fourth quarter. We're not going to have time. So I can't imagine being that busy year round.
So what do you, Tiffany, feel like fourth quarter to you, like cranking up? Does that mean like, are you trying to source more to send in to stock up your inventory, or are you still going to just like, I don't know if you deal with replenishables or you're just hitting clearance stuff, but or is it that you just try to stay more on top and maintain a certain amount of inventory, or do you just like go load it up? And I mean, what's your plan?
I need to kind of get more focused on a strategy, to be honest. I mean, I focus my business right now like highly on replenishables and discontinued items. But I know like toys is huge, which I sell some toys already, but I know toys is huge. And also one thing that like somebody posted, his name's Christopher Grant. He works with like tactical arbitrage for online arbitrage. And he posted an article, I think it was last week, and it was like the top 100 selling toys for Q4, like what's predicted. And I think like that would be good for people to go and look at something like that. Like look at an article, look at something about what are going to be the popular toys, and like keep your eyes, out, because when you're out doing RA or OA or you're, you guys, thrift shops, garage sales, whatever, if you see something like that, or like I know like if something this Q4 is Toy Story is going to be popular, probably all Toy Story, is going to be popular.
Did I tell you yesterday?
Yep, we just picked. What did we pick up Toy Story yesterday?
The Pizza Planet truck.
That's right. Yeah, we got the little was it Little People?
No, the Imaginext.
Imaginext little Pizza Planet truck. Yep. I didn't put that on my comp list.
Yeah, he got that because it was there and it wasn't missing anything, in great condition. I'm like, yeah, look at grab. Yep. And then the little stinker made out like a bandit.
I did.
Oh.
You know what? Like going into a thrift store with Derek is like, I mean, it's like having an endless supply of like Santa Claus presents. You know what I mean? It's like, it's amazing because half of the stuff that we found, Derek was like, here you go. We go down another aisle. Here you go. Good stuff we were finding too. So it was amazing. And he's like the human comping machine. You know what I mean? He's like, here you go. That's $15. That's $10. And it was amazing.
Yeah. But here's the thing with this too. Anthony puts on the charm. he had this cashier like literally butter in his hands.
Oh my goodness!
Well, it wasn't like no flirtatious stuff.
No, it wasn't. It was just. She just was like, yeah. She had the whole thing in her register. All he had, if me and Anthony were bad, all we had to hit was the enter button, and the register would have opened up. She walked away to go and find her manager halfway across the store. She had everything all priced out with scanned and everything. She walked away. She goes, I'll be right back. I think I can get you a better deal on this. And this is at Savers. They're not supposed to do any deals.
Wow. That's awesome.
She goes, how does $5 off sound on this? $5 off? Are you kidding me? I walk in there, I have to pay full price. This one's over here getting. we had this Victrola, and my boy and I we were DJing on the Victrola the other day, and she pulled out her phone and she was showing. I'm like sitting on, what the heck is up with this guy?
Yeah, it was awesome though. Like there were some items she's like, yeah, you don't want to buy that. That's not gonna be. And then it was just like, well, there's wiggle room on this price, right? And then I got this. It's $100. There's like I'm gonna list it at 90, just to be a little bit under. It was like I've seen Donatella sell them on her auction. It's like the Banshee from Avatar. Like it's Disney park exclusive. It like moves around, does a lot of cool stuff, makes noise. And they had it there $9.99, but then they were also charging $9.99 for the base. And I was like, come on now, this is the exact same thing. Like these go together. You can see how they snap together. She's like, I'm only charging you for one, don't worry.
I got you.
But yeah, it was amazing. Like I was like, wow, you're really making my first Savers experience a memorable one.
I hate going to the thrift stores and having that situation where you find two things that one doesn't work without the other, and they've got them separate.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure they're just getting stuff donated in bulk and it gets separated, and they don't know that it goes together. But
right,
I've seen a lot of Goodwills that are like, no, you got to pay both prices. If we're selling it separate, you got to pay both prices. But I mean, she was super cool about it. Like she hooked up all the prices for us.
Kelly, they come on board had a great point. I know these sell. If you ever see I always see the 8mm camcorders, and I really don't do anything with the VHS-C typically, but the adapters.
Yep.
The small adapter to the full size VHS usually sell pretty well. In the 20, I don't know what you got for it, Kelly. I would assume in the 20-25 range, they're pretty pricey.
Right.
She also made a good point. She was talking about how she's stocking up on her shipping supplies, which that's a really good idea.
Especially with the USPS. If you need USPS supplies, get that order in now. Over order if you have to.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, see, everybody talks. It probably has a lot to do with what the type of stuff I sell. Because, like I say, I think I sell pretty much to the end user, not to people that are buying it for gifts for somebody else.
Right.
My sales go up a bit in fourth quarter, but where my sales rock out is after Christmas, when everybody's spending their Christmas gift cards and money, and tax time. Those are my highlight times.
Right.
More than it is fourth quarter. So, when I really do like a pushing list, I'm pushing listings through like the middle of November into the end of December, and January, February, March are my hot months. They've been the last 3 years in a row.
Right.
Wow, that's cool.
And I think end of the year and into January is the best time to hit clearance, because, like we were talking earlier briefly, that they're trying to clear the shelves. They stocked up on stuff that they thought would move during clearance. Some of it moved, some of it didn't. They're just ready to move it on and put something else up there. Good morning.
Morning.
But
I know Craig would. We were well, the funniest part is when we were at Savage yesterday, I showed Anthony will tell you straight out, you can get around my town in 10 minutes.
Yeah, like literally anywhere you want to go.
I showed him the oldest carousel that we had that around the country. We went by there. You finally got to see the beach.
Yep.
that's cool.
Me and Derek took a long walk on the beach.
Nice.
And then
So that's why y'all weren't streaming last night. Okay.
then we drove by the new nursing home that Craig's gonna live in. We drove by that yesterday.
You didn't send me pictures. I wanted to fly.
Okay, we'll go and get that. We'll go definitely get that for you.
They might not have pistachio pudding though, so we're gonna have to like really rethink if this is the wisest choice.
Right, exactly. It's two nursing homes. There's a nursing home and two funeral parlors right next to each other. So you're all set. And
you got to check to see what's going to make the difference is what type of pudding's on the menu.
right,
Exactly.
We'll get that.
Dang right.
But the nice part is there's a post office right next door and a funeral home. So you can go to the post office, and if he has problems, he can dump himself off the funeral home.
Oh, that's a good point. Kelly said ugly Christmas sweaters are big.
Yeah, that won't go away. know,
But because people have those parties where everybody wants to wear that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right.
you know.
So uniquely me says, so you guys have neighbors in Texas?
Yeah, there's 2 in Austin. There's
Yeah.
2 in Austin.
I was impressed with Savers. Like, I mean, the prices on some stuff is super high, but I like it better than Goodwill.
Our Goodwill here, like I've said before, we've only got one Goodwill in our area, and it's gotten to the point where it's junk and it's Target returns, and that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we had Savers here in Wisconsin, and then last year they just all of a sudden closed. All of them just boom. They didn't have like no going out of business signs. They didn't have no like
No
trying to liquidate sales. Just all of a sudden, we were in Madison. There was a Savers. We're in it. We found some good buys. It was like you said, some of the stuff was highly priced, but then there was some great deals. And we went down like a week later, and the store's empty. Signs gone, everything. They were just, and so I'm like, well, let's check out the Savers in Appleton. And I've never been there, so I went to look up the address, but I know there was a couple there, and it said store permanently closed. They just boom.
They may have gotten a call from Steve Rakin. You know, he's big into Savers, isn't he? He may have called and sorry, you guys shut down.
He raids the ones in Connecticut. That's why you can't touch any of the ones in Connecticut. So yeah, he's not that far away. He's about an hour and a half away from it.
Now I heard there's some states that have Savers bins.
Yeah,
Really?
Like we have Goodwill's bins.
I don't know. We've been trying to look for them, and I don't see any around here.
We don't have
Tomorrow we're going up to New Hampshire to go to my first Goodwill bins. So
Yep.
Oh, you got to make sure you catch him on some video.
yeah,
We definitely will.
I have gloves here, so I've got my gloves, so I'm all set with that.
Yeah.
So
I didn't bring a pair, but
I got them. Like,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Put your body suit on.
Touche.
Y'all should be able to. Y'all should be able to. I don't think you guys will put y'all out of the way.
We'll try to go these 5 deals. We'll try to go live there. I'm not sure if they allow video cameras up to the one in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm just gonna use my cell phone there.
Well, what they don't know won't hurt them.
Exactly. That's why I'm gonna use the cell phone.
They're pretty cool here with recording and stuff because Destiny found a selfie stick in one of the bins and she walked around with it way up in the air like recording. She's like, "Well, I'm just testing the selfie stick," but she was recording. Didn't say a word.
Well, I don't think I'll be able to bring this with me, but Craig, here is the.
He's not going to bring out the old school, put on your shoulder VHS camcorder, is he? Oh yeah.
Here's that thing I made. I told you for the videos.
Oh, that worked out good. I like that.
So all it is it's a selfie stick,
right,
with a battery pack, and this is all in a rector set.
That's a good idea.
So
Yeah, that's right back there.
Anthony, did you take your GoPro with you?
No. I still don't know what to do with it.
Well, that's where you could have used it. You could have went there and you could have took the little handlebar mount,
Yeah.
and put it on the shopping cart and just kind of put a T-shirt or something kind of cover, and nobody would even know.
Yeah,
Amy, I'm not that small.
That's hysterical.
Amy, I heard you were small, so that would be happen to you. Neville says his nearest Savers is only 5 minutes drives away.
Right.
They have them in
oh, really?
Australia.
Wow.
It looks too.
And literally, Craig, now Anthony knows when I say it's 5 minutes away, it's 5 minutes away.
Yep.
But it only takes 15 minutes to go across the whole state, either northwest or east.
And there's a Dunkin' Donuts 5 seconds away in any direction.
Yeah, literally.
Nice.
We saw a lot of stuff. We're going to take them to a lot of different stuff today. We were going to go to Brimfield today, but they're saying rain, so I don't want to get stuck up there and get stuck in the mud. And there's no buildings to go into. It's literally all tents and dirt, and so I'm not gonna risk.
What'd you end up doing with your store, Anthony? Did you put
I'm on vacation mode right now. I'm gonna go back in and try to see if I can mess with handling time. But my store was blowing up the other day, and me and Derek were at Savers. I had my phone plugged into the car trying to charge it, and I got to know where I got my first ever car cha-ching. The whole car just went cha-ching. It was awesome.
Nice. I still think we need to do that. You know, I brought it up a handful of days ago. We need to find a way to promote somebody's store one day. I'm not talking about just going through and review it, just going through and doing our best to promote as many sales as we can for whoever we choose. You know,
Right.
I think that would be.
I'll be the guinea pig if you want to test
Yeah,
it.
I was literally going to offer to be that guiney pig too.
What can we do? Do we need to
take anything you guys want and buy it? Everything's cheap on my Mercari.
do we need to do some kind of contest or something to pick a winner?
Yeah, how many people are in the chat right now, Tommy? How many people are live with us?
33.
33. All right, guys, we need 33 sales.
Right.
Everybody, click off. No.
That'll clear out my Mercari.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of 99-cent auctions up that I'm just trying to clear out inventory with, man. So people get some good deals right now.
Yeah.
I mean, what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that in the chat? Is that something y'all would be interested in if we ran some kind of contest and whoever won, that we spent the whole however long we go for the show, an hour or so, just promoting, looking at their items, talking about them, and trying to generate as many sales as we could for that person, whoever it is.
Preferably have Nintendo stuff, so there's something I want to buy.
Toys, anything good toys.
Derek says more toys, more fun.
Yeah. We do that if y'all want to. We do it on my channel on Monday. It's back to me on Monday if y'all want to.
Yeah. And the winner also gets a pair of NASCAR Man yoga pants.
Yep.
I told Derek, what if I order a pair from him, then I just walk around with him all week wearing them.
I'd be like, I'm out of here. You guys, you can keep in the pond.
Yeah, I don't think my frame would hold up real well under yoga pants.
Why? You had to wear it. You had to wear a what do they call it?
With the singlet?
Singlet, yeah.
All right. So if you
Nathan brought my link. He likes 99-cent. There it is.
What's
That's
that?
my store link.
There you go.
No, Nate said he likes 99-cent stuff. He's like, drop your link. I like 99-cent stuff.
My wife gets officially today.
Is she?
Yeah.
Nice.
She's officially a PCT. Like, she's been doing the job of one, but just not getting paid like one.
Oh, that's fun.
Wow, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah, she did the last. I think she had to do like one more straight calf for them to actually give her the promotion. And
She got it.
Yeah.
Nice.
She just did it today. She just gave me a text, like, guess who's officially a PCT?
Nice. Good deal.
And people that like 99-cent auctions, I'm revamping my store over like the next week.
Yeah.
And so I'll be adding 99-cent auctions, probably at least a handful a day.
Yeah.
Right now, my entire store is on the 20% off sale. So there's definitely some deals to be had. I was thinking about making an additional viewer coupon, like to then go on and get an additional price off of the already 20% off. Because my thing is, like, I don't want viewers to pay retail, because as a reseller, who the heck wants to pay retail?
Right.
So I want to make some kind of special, like, digital code or something that only for viewers, you know what I mean?
Right.
Start putting it in my descriptions. That way they get better deals.
I think Eric's got a great idea. He says we can all buy from Tiffany's store. Tiffany, drop your Amazon link.
All right, one moment. I'll be right
Come
back.
on, we're trying to help you out here.
Right back. She's clicking out and running away.
Right, exactly.
Now, is the big Amazon secret of stores, like, is it because people are trying to hide what they're profiting on, or is it because they're scared of like store sabotage?
Well, there's multiple reasons. I mean, one of the biggest reasons is if someone knows your store name, they can see everything you're selling. and then they can figure out where you're getting it from. Like if you do online arbitrage, in particular, then basically all they have to do is Google where your products and see where you're getting it from. Which that takes a lot of work, but still. And then there's also there's programs, there's a software program. It's a one-time fee. It's called Storefront Stalker. So a lot of people use that for online arbitrage. And what it does is when you go in and you find someone's store, it scrapes all the ASINs, which the ASINs are basically SKUs. So it scrapes all the ASINs, and then it can help you find where they're getting it. So you don't want that for a lot of obvious reasons, because you don't want competition. If somebody else jumps on your listing, then that's less sales for you. If they find a better deal on it, then, they're probably going to lower their price, which is going to decrease your profit, price tanking, like Eric just said. So, so that's a big thing. And if you're selling, replenishables instead of one-offs, it's a really big thing, because replenishables are replenishable, and
Right.
you plan to keep. For anybody that didn't know that, so it's a big deal. So that's why there's a lot of secrecy with your Amazon store and what you're selling and where you're getting it from, all of that stuff. So
Yeah.
I was curious, because it's you have people on eBay too that want to hide your store, and then you have other people that actually want to sell stuff and promote the hell out of their store.
Right.
That's
And
how
I know a lot of eBay sellers will hide their store, or if they are on YouTube or social media, they'll have a public and then a private store. And I know a lot of that has to do with the fact that they don't want their haters to be buying things and doing negative reviews or doing returns and all of that. So yeah, Eric said it sucks, but that's the way it is. Yeah, that's one thing that makes Amazon really, really lonely, because you can't talk about what you're selling, and you can't talk about where you get it, and you can't, I can tell you, I found an item for 10 cents and I'm selling it for $60 because it's a discontinued item, but I can't tell you much more than that. So
it's just so ultra competitive,
But there's so much. There's so many websites and so many things out there that'll tell you what's hot selling on Amazon right now, what the trending products are on Amazon right now. And
right.
I think I would utilize that more than I'd want to worry about somebody's store.
Oh yeah, no.
Look at Amazon as a whole and find out what the hot products are and try to figure out where to get them products.
Right.
More than I'm going to worry about the single person that's maybe got 50 or 75 or 100 of these in their store. I want to look at Amazon as a whole.
Right. No, and I'm with you 100%. And that's why these programs like tactical arbitrage and stuff, are really great, because it'll help you look at the top 100 items per category, and I feel like that's a better use of your time than trying to steal someone else's store,
Is it possible, Tiffany? I don't know if you would want to do this, because I don't know if it would affect your business. But for those of us who don't know much about RA, would you be able to just pick a random item, something that you don't sell, for example, and just show us how you would go about finding it online? Or would that be crossing some kind of Amazon boundary that's not healthy to share?
I can think about it. So basically, let me just make sure I understand. So you're saying take an item that
people how to actually do OA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you were going to a random website that you would do an OA find from, pick an item that you don't sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way you have no jeopardy of anybody jumping in on your stuff. But for example, a can of Pepsi. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then go well, that would be stupid to look up because you couldn't find
Yeah.
one Pepsi. But you know what I mean? Like either that or like, for example, like one truck.
Yeah.
And if you were to look up this one truck and try to find it OA, you know what I mean? Like how would you go about doing such a thing? You know what I mean? Or
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But I know me personally, since when I get back, I want to get into Amazon, and Nate's actually offered to like come set it up and teach me how to pack the boxes for it, and
That would be awesome.
So that's something I want to get into. So I was just wondering like how, even if it's something you want to do like offline, you know what I mean, offline, just show me. And again, I don't want to know the products you're selling or anything like that. I just want to know how I can learn to do it for myself. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that there's a lot of other people that are probably interested in how that process works.
Yeah, DC Sales says do a tutorial about the research you do, and I've said it multiple times, that whole teach me to fish versus give me a fish. Teach me how to do that. Teach me how you're going to make so much more money, even if you're trying to sell that service of teaching you how to do that. But even the person buying it is going to get so much more out of understanding the process of how to find items.
Yeah.
That's going to pay off more long term than it is here. Here's a list of 30 items you need to go buy.
Right.
Because once you get to buying those 30 items and those all get tanked because 100 people have that, where are you going to go? You're going to have to go spend another $100 on that list or whatever.
So that's why BOLO lists suck, because the list you're getting, hundreds of other people already have. And they're getting the same stuff. So either it's going to be more difficult to find the stuff, or by the time you get it listed, the sales have pretty much gone down because everybody's trying to beat each other's price.
All that stuff is very time sensitive for sure. Yeah. I don't want to say BOLO lists are terrible, but if you do them, you just got to use them under the understanding that that's the situation, like you said, Anthony, that so many people are doing it. If you get it, you got to get it in quick.
Right.
You can't sit on it 2 days. Those 2 days could cost you hundreds and thousands of dollars if you're talking anything in bulk.
Right. Well, and I think with BOLO lists or something like that, particularly for Amazon, like, it needs to be done where it's, it's only offered to like a very small group of people, because you also have to realize when you're offering something to somebody like that, not everybody is going to just keep it to themselves. Somebody may go share it with their best friend, and then that kind of spreads, So, yeah.
I mean, I agree. I mean, especially with something like that. Like, I don't think it would be a big deal sharing it with like a friend that is not going to like hurt your listing or whatever, but privately, so everybody goes and does the thing. Because I know for a fact, like when Scott released that Monopoly for Millennials, like there was a ton of people that went and got that game.
Then it tanked.
Yeah.
Then it tanked right after. So.
Yep. So I remember the first time I found it after watching that video, I comped it and I was like, there's like no money in this. Like I'd basically break even after fees, but then again, that was, afterwards when so many people already jumped on it.
I think Greg can probably say a couple. We had some stuff written up there, don't you?
I'm pretty sure he does.
Do what?
What?
You saying you still have Monopoly for Millennials?
I've got one.
What date?
We should just play it one day.
Yeah. I know there's people. I know 2 people for sure that got stuck with 20 plus of them.
Yeah.
But, they were in that, Amazon, it's a double-edged sword. You say first in or last out, Yeah. Sometimes that doesn't apply to every product.
No.
You look at that Monopoly from anything that's a trendy item, I would say get in, get your money, get out, in my opinion. But that's a prime example. Right now, I think I've got that one listed for like $19 and, a handful of dollars of shipping on eBay, and it'll probably sit for a year.
Right. And Rumstump makes a good point. She said, look what happened with the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's.
Right.
And honestly, now Amazon, if you go to Amazon and you look at the bagel seasoning, Amazon is actually selling it now.
Because they realize it's profitable.
Right.
Exactly. And that's why, like, for me, I am having a hard time making content because I don't want to do RE videos because, like, for me, even if I buy something and I sell it, like I realize there's other, even once I sold out, there's other people selling it. So I don't want to like jeopardize their business, you know? So like, you know, like I just, yeah, I'm very careful to talk about even things that I've, you know, like maybe discontinued items, unless I'm like, okay, it's completely discontinued. Everyone is sold out. I don't ever foresee it ever coming back on the market. Then maybe something like that I would reveal. But that's one reason why.
Make it happen. Who's
Yeah.
making money?
Huh?
Who's making money? Tommy.
So, but yeah, you know, like she said, like when something like that gets out, you know, you never know what's going to happen. Most likely it's going to tank, the price is going to tank, and like Amazon could even come in and start selling it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
And they've got a lot further reach and a lot more power than the average seller does.
oh yeah. Yeah.
You'll go from being one of 10 people with everybody having 10 or 12, and all of a sudden Amazon will show up and they'll have 5 million in the product.
Right. Well, I mean, you have to think of it like if you own, you know, you own a company that's making a product and you have 10 small sellers coming to you, or you have Amazon coming to you wanting to buy your product, you're more than likely going to partner with Amazon, you know?
Yep. I'm sure pretty much everyone wants to partner with Amazon at this rate just because they're so large and their reach is everywhere.
Kelly's getting some good information out there. They're talking about the buy box Bible or whatever it is. That's and people don't understand. I don't have a great understanding of it, but you know, when I made the point that it's not always the lowest price that gets the buy box. You know.
Yeah.
But once you get that buy box on Amazon, you can just sales can fly off the shelf.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Deep fried deals. We weren't knocking that video. No. That video was amazing. But yeah, that video is one of the things that like literally put in my head, hey, you can travel and make money.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like that was my introduction to somebody traveling beyond their territory specifically for sourcing. You know what I mean? Like I've sourced, like if, for example, like we'd go to Splash Lagoon in Erie, Pennsylvania. I'll source around there. You know what I mean? I'll do a little RA. I'll do a little thrifting. But it never even registered in my mind, hey, maybe I should like travel outside of my little, you know, tri-state area and get stuff for, you know, eBay or Mercari or soon to be Amazon.
Right.
But I think the key sometimes, like you're saying, is get out of your comfort zone, whether that's physically going somewhere else or sourcing different items that you normally wouldn't source. Expand your knowledge.
Right.
And then sometimes you might be sitting next to a guy like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the take home with the Monopoly video is like, you know, Craig goes back to don't teach me what to fish for, teach me how to fish. Like, you know, that shows you like look for hot items, especially in Q4, that, you know, there's a huge markup on the price and you can just take advantage of that, you know? So the video.
One thing you can do, using Walmart as an example and talking about toys, go in and ask the employee that works in that Walmart in the toy section, what is everybody asking for?
Yeah.
If it's something's not on stuff, what are they asking for?
Right.
And there's a lot that you can like really glean from a lot of these videos where you see people doing the RA and the traveling and stuff like that. You know, I just gave Scott a shout out. Not that it matters. He's like way huge and I'm like way small, but my video yesterday, where Ash was doing her Ibotta app and I was doing some RA. I was rocking the Walmart scooter and I was doing some scooter trash. I gave him a shout out for that.
I mean, along the same lines, walking the aisles of the toy area and just watching what the kids are gravitating towards.
Yep.
I mean, those seem like simple things, but that's going to help you identify popular items, especially around this time of year. Watch what parents are buying. Right. Parents are probably starting to do Christmas shopping at this point, potentially. You know? I've competed with Amazon, but I competed in the books area. I went to a yard sale. This has been a year and a half. I think it was last summer. I walked up to a yard sale and they had a bunch of stuff that walked in the garage and there were just tables and tables and tables of books. And they all look like they're in great condition. And I've done books for a long time. And I scanned 2 or 3, and they had decent profits, but every one I scanned, Amazon was on.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And I was like, this guy must have sent them into FBA or bought them and figured out that Amazon was on the listing. I bought like 50 or 60 books, and I did a merchant fulfilled, and I sold out in like 2 months. But I think he was afraid to take on Amazon. Like, it is what it is, you know?
And one thing you can do if you learn to read Keepa charts that's really cool is like so Amazon may be like, because Keepa will show you when Amazon's been on a listing and when it's not. And so a lot of times when Amazon's on a listing, the price tanks because Amazon lowers the price, and because they get it for such, I mean, they work on very small margins. But like what you can do is if you see like maybe Amazon is selling an item, but it looks like they've sold it and then they've been out of stock, sometimes you can buy it from Amazon. Don't buy it with your Prime account.
Right.
And then you can resend it in to sell it when Amazon gets off the listing. And that's like an Amazon to Amazon flip. Yeah. And those are really cool. Those are really cool.
And you do have to be careful. Like you said, you cannot buy things using your Prime membership and then turn around and ship it back in. And I don't think you can do it with merchant fulfilled either, right?
So no, you should, if you're going to buy something on Amazon to resell it on Amazon, definitely don't buy it with your Amazon Prime account. If you have Prime, set up a separate account that's not Prime. Nate was asking how much Keepa is. Keepa is like around $18 a month. It's a British company, so they charge you in pounds and then it just converts. But it's around $18 a month. I live and breathe by Keepa. I feel like, and they just started charging a few months ago. Like earlier this year, it was free. But it's honestly like, I feel like it's the number one thing you should have if you're selling on Amazon.
Right.
Yeah.
Talking about price tanking and Amazon being on a listing and all that. Did y'all see Jason Deason's posting? And it was in one of those Facebook groups. I don't remember which one, but he had a situation where he bought a book. It was I don't remember what the price point was, but it was a $70, $80, $90 book. And he has a repricer. So there were only like 2 people on the listing. There were very few. And the other person's repricer was set to go 1 penny below his price. So it got to be just a constant battle.
Right.
He dropped the price to $9.99. His competition's repricer dropped it 1 cent below. He bought it, and then he shipped it back in and raised the price back up.
Yeah, that's genius right there. Absolutely.
I mean, Amazon requires, people think Amazon is easy. Amazon is not easy. It's a lot of work. You can get repricers and stuff like that, but there's, all these platforms are getting so sophisticated that it's not a list and forget it anymore. And I think that's the problem people get stuck into is you list something, you forget about it. Well, did the going rate, the current price, what's the market's paying for that item change?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why, I try to drive home the message that it's not easy. Amazon's not easy. It's not passive. And like the guy that we interviewed on Saturday, and he's pretty new as well, like me. He's only been selling since March. And I asked him like straight up, how many hours per week do you work on this? And he'll tell you like 60 to 70 hours,
Yeah.
Like it's not easy. But if you enjoy it, it makes it worth it. It really.
Right. When I had the interview when I was on Change Channel when I first started out after getting like 500 subs, they were like, he wanted me on the show, and he's like, well, would you ever think of doing Amazon? I'm like, no, not really, because for one, I don't have the capital, and it's not easy for me to, and Anthony's finding out that it's not easy for me to go and just leave and go and do something,
For you though, it might be nice is if we can figure out the OA side.
Yeah.
Getting you hooked up with some OA and get stuff just sent here.
Yeah.
And for example, when you do OA, Tiff, do you have to then unbox it and repackage it specifically for Amazon and then put it back in the box? So it's not just as simple as the product comes, you just slap a new label on it and send it back out. You have to actually open it up, put on the suffocation warning bags, or do whatever labels or whatnot.
Yeah. So you always want to use an Amazon label, not the manufacturer label, because you don't want your items commingled, which means that like if you send in and I send in the same item, they're not like they're going to be separate, otherwise.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want it mixed. There's a lot of.
We go to that guy too if it's not it doesn't have your tag on it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of prep involved, and that's a big part of like. I try to, I want to socialize on YouTube more, but a lot of times, like I'm on a live, like you won't see my face because I'm like wearing my headphones, working, prepping, and I'm talking to people.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
The prep is a huge part. It really is.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing with Amazon, it's the same amount or more work than eBay, but you're just front loading that work.
Yeah.
Sourcing, that could potentially be the same as eBay.
Right.
Packing and shipping, you're not doing that when it sells. You're packing and shipping in bulk if you're doing FBA.
Right.
You're front loading a lot of the work, and I think that's why people think of it as passive income.
Yeah.
I scan it, I buy it, I box it up in bulk, I ship it, and I wait to get paid.
Well, and it is nice, like if you want to take a day off or whatever, or you want to go on vacation, if you're not doing merchant fulfilled, I mean, if you are doing merchant fulfilled, you can put it on vacation mode, but everything that's at the warehouse, it's FBA, you don't have to worry about that. If it's sold, Amazon's going to ship it out. So that is, the nice part of it.
Right.
What is this?
Shout out to Kelly, the e-com mom ward. We were talking about the buy box. She just shared it. So if you're not a part of the Mid-Morning Break Room Facebook group, definitely go and share because Kelly just shared this. Lisa C does this a lot too. When we talk about stuff, they'll actually go and they'll drop links in the Facebook group. So if we want to research it more and dig more into it, the Facebook group's a good way to do that. A good way to help promote yourself, grow what you're doing, get support if you need help with, pricing stuff. If you need help with whatever problems you're having with your business, there's people in there that have been doing this a long time that know what they're talking about. And I know me personally, like there's been days where I literally, we have like a little message thread that we have for the show. There's days where I'll just go in there like, hey guys, what do you think about this? Hey guys, what do you think about that? And the Facebook group's a great place to do that. You know what I mean? Like if there's ever anything you guys are unsure of, if you post it there, the four of us will be there, but then there's people that are knowledgeable, like Tiffany's in there. There's a whole bunch of really knowledgeable resellers in there. So I just think it's a beneficial thing to do for, pretty much anyone who wants to join.
We know there's at least one knowledgeable person in there.
Yeah. And his name's
I'll let y'all determine who that is. I'm not sure who it is yet. And I'm not saying it's me. It could be any one of us. It could be any one of the people that are in that group, And I think that's the value of using something like that.
Yeah.
Is you're not depending on contacting one person. It's the whole crowdsourcing method, There's so many people that are knowledgeable and so many people that are knowledgeable in different areas.
Right.
I think that bargain effect guy is pretty smart.
I'm just trying to figure out what.
Tommy is so smart, man. The stuff he says, I'm like, I'm not really into eBay, but if I was, like, Tommy's your go-to guy. So.
I feel like if an investor came up and said, "Hey, Tommy, here's $1 million. Go, do what you want with it," I feel like Tommy would turn that into like $1 billion with the way his brain works. So if you have $1 million, you might want to hit up the bargain effect.
Yeah. Let's crowdfund for Tommy.
Yep.
Tommy be moving to Vegas and be like, all right, now the rest of the money, let's go and do this.
Vegas. I'm taking that money and hiding out in the Caribbean somewhere on a beach again.
I wouldn't want to go that way today after the way that weather's been down there.
Yeah.
Touche.
Oh, well, that's another thing. We found a coffee mug and it had the Bahamas on it. I'm like, maybe we should buy this because it might not be there by the end of the week.
Yeah, I saw a video. It was on Facebook, and it was like a second or third story inside of a house, and you saw the water coming up the stairs. I mean,
yeah, the windows. I saw that. It was hitting the windows.
Oh. That's scary.
Yeah.
Tommy, you just need to work on getting those. You need to work on getting those thoughts into a pre-recorded video. Is what you need, because you got some great information.
Yeah.
And, I got to come clean about my information. I actually have a little troll over here that tells me everything and I relay it. No. But everything that I know is just a collaboration of everybody else. I mean, it's things that I picked up from this person and that person,
but don't
and
belittle yourself.
and put together. I mean, there's nothing that I can tell you that I did not find from the internet, just with research and just digging around. I mean, it's not like I have any spectacular brain power that knows things that other people don't know. I mean, you may not know it, but it's out there. It's out there in multiple places.
The yearning you have for that information, though, is something that most people don't have. And I think that's what sets you apart. Because, like, if there's something out there you can learn about stuff, you do. You know what I mean? And a lot of people I've been around, like, they don't do research like you do research.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I love research. I love digging.
There's a gift in what you do, Tommy. So don't undercut yourself there.
And see, I love research as well, and I think like that's contributed to me picking up Amazon so quickly because, like, I really just, I absorbed a lot of information before I like ever got started. So
I think that's critical to being successful in any of these platforms is understanding things. And it's not like we talked earlier. It's not just about what products to buy. eBay, especially on the eBay side, and we're all primarily eBay. You got to understand the changes in eBay and how to adjust to them. The whole change between when free shipping used to be the big thing. You're doing free shipping, that gave you a bump. They made the change where promoted listings and promotions weigh in a little bit. That's kind of the model we're in right now. That those help you a lot more than free shipping, in my opinion. You just got to be able to adjust, and it's an ever changing platform.
Absolutely.
Sure.
If you don't change and adjust, you're going to fail. Yeah. And that's where I struggle with people sharing information that's 10 and 15 years old.
Yeah. Well, and I'm the same way because Amazon, I mean, I'm new to Amazon, but even since I've been on it for 6 months, there's been so many changes. Like now, like when I started, you could use FedEx or UPS as your partnered carrier to ship your shipments to FBA, to the warehouse. And now you can only use UPS. And a lot of people made a big stink in all these Facebook groups about it, like freaking out, like, what am I going to do? It's so much more expensive. I can't afford to run my business anymore. And it's like, it's really not that big a deal. And if you can't adapt to these changes, you have no business, like, being in this business.
Yeah. If that change and that small amount of cost caused you to say, I'm not doing this anymore, you're probably in the wrong business.
Yeah.
One way to kind of stay ahead of the game with the changes is nothing just, especially with eBay, nothing just happens. The fall sellers update isn't going to come out and all of a sudden, bam, there's all these changes. eBay implements these changes little by little before they actually do the final rollout. And you can stay ahead of that and start implementing these changes yourself earlier, so when everybody hits that big change shock and they're oh my god, eBay's screwing us over again and doing this, and they just feel that way because people don't adapt to the change. You're up the game a couple of months or a few weeks or whatever ahead of everybody else. You just got to look in the right places. You got to go to the actual eBay forums. Don't go to the Facebook groups where everybody's bitching about how eBay is broken and eBay is trying to screw the seller, and they're not, because the seller's who they make their money off of. Just get ahead of the game and learn how to work with the changes instead of being so disgruntled about them.
Right.
Yeah,
I think somebody said that Michelle Lane said that the fall seller updates probably due out today. And I think if you have a store, you should get an email with all the updates. Thinking back to when they made the swing going, dropping all the 5, 7 day, 10-day listings to the good till canceled. Everybody heard that was coming.
Right.
I know what I did. As soon as my 5 or 7 or 10-day listings finished, I immediately, and this was months before it ever rolled out, I went ahead and started converting them all to good till canceled. Just like you're talking about being ahead of the game. I think, Tommy, correct me if I'm wrong, haven't you always done good till canceled?
I have always done good till cancel from day one.
I have too.
Okay, I didn't remember if you had it or not, Anthony. I thought Tommy did, but
Yeah. And then when eBay switched it all over, everybody's like, "Oh my goodness!" But I've always listed my listings good till canceled, and then I would every 60 days manually end them and relist them to get fresh eyes, tweak them or whatever. Then I was doing the data mine for a while that would do it for me. Every morning it would pick whatever, anywhere from 10 to 50 items, whatever I designated to end and relist, but it doesn't tweak them. It just ends them and then relists them as a new listing. And I was like, I can save that money and do it manually right now because I don't have that many listings, and then that's what I do.
That's one thing I have never done. I've never been into the manual ending and relisting. My strategy has always been to just keep listing. Like even if I'm listing 3 to 5 items a day, it's been like make sure I have enough inventory that I can just keep listing so that doesn't ever drop. And ideally, what I wanted to do was just have thousands of items in my eBay store, but now that's kind of changing a little bit. Where my strategy is going to be to start taking some items off of eBay and make them Amazon items, and then start setting everything up by platform. I still want my eBay store to be around 1,000 listings. So I just in the last week I went from over 1,300 items down to I think I'm at like 1,100 something right now. I pulled a lot of stuff off just for various different things, for local sales, for auction sales, for like stuff that I'm prepping for to be just Amazon, things that might just be better as Mercari sales. Right now, Mercari is just doubling as a way to help me move some of my RA stuff that I'd like to get onto Amazon. So I'm kind of trying to do an entire shift in the business to where everything's in a strategic place is kind of where I want to be, because I don't want to keep paying the overages, being over 1,000 listings every month if I don't have to, if certain things will sell better in a different platform.
Taylor's Place asked me, he says, Tommy, you said you manually end it every 60 days. Have you ever tried 90? Just wondering if there's a difference. Yeah, absolutely. Because after 60 days, your items start falling off so bad and they're so buried that you may sell it, but your chances of sell it drop drastically after 60 days.
But if you look at the analytics and stuff within eBay, and I think that's important to do over time. I'm not saying obsess over it every day, but every so many, every couple of weeks or whatever, you need to look at those things because they tell you a story. They help you make a decision. They're out there for a reason. I know people talk about the promoted listings and promotions of changing them every 24, 48, however many hours. You see them starting to trend down. They're giving the information to make the right decisions. Use it.
There's a couple questions in here. First one from West Max Gary. He says, how much does an eBay store cost? There are several different levels of the store you can have. Store I have right now is a premium store. It costs me $60 a month. But they have like a starter store. I mean, what is it, like $5.99 a month or something like that? And then they have a basic store, which is like $10 a month, something like that.
10 and change.
But
yeah.
I mean, so you can start as little as you want or go as high as you want. For me, I started at the starter store, which was super low end. And then like literally within the next couple of days, I upgraded it to the basic store because I needed more listings. And then literally within the next couple of weeks, I just said, heck with it. I'm just going to go with $60 premium store. That'll give you 1,000 listings.
I just dropped a link that'll take you to the eBay store subscription fees. It'll tell you, it'll break it down what the benefits of each store is and the cost.
Thanks, Tommy. That's awesome of you. And then let's see, somebody else had a question here. It was highlighted for me. Right under Gary. Oh, deep fried deals. He says you mentioned a Dunkin' being on every corner there. Y'all loading up on pumpkin spice. Not yet, but we might. We never know.
Anthony, talking about the number of listings you have, I think a lot of people, and I'm not directing this at you, I'm just talking in general, I think a lot of people get caught up in, on the eBay side, getting caught up in the number of listings they have.
Mm-hmm.
And I find myself in that same boat sometimes, you know, like you're out there just working, trying to get stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
I think the key is don't concentrate so much on how many listings you have. Concentrate on the quality of items you have. Concentrate on the dollar value of items you have up there that are good selling products. You know, and I know everybody talks about having those you know, the things that sell every day. You know, I don't know. I really struggle with that whole concept, you know, because I can see the benefit, but sometimes I'm like, how much time do I need to spend on this? You know, it's,
you know, up until recently, I was kept thinking, you know, I gotta have this premium store, so I get the 1,000 free listings, and I gotta fill the store because that's the only way I'm gonna make money. And I gotta say, over the last couple of weeks, my thought process on that has totally changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do any miraculous research, or I didn't come across any hidden strategy. I actually have to give credit to Tommy Bernard.
Yeah, that was a good
in
stream.
my thought process on that. And he's made very good points that you don't need to have 2,500 listings to kill it on eBay. You just got to have the right listings priced at the right price.
Yeah,
exactly. And and sometimes that's a challenge.
here's
You know,
another thing.
there's some limitations to that. What's your cash flow?
DC sales.
What can you source in your area?
Yeah.
How new are you? If you're just getting started, start with those small items and build up. You know, it's.
You know, I know. Tommy Bernard says I think he said he's running about 325 items in his store, and he's killing it way more than I am. You know, you got to source smarter. You know, it's that old concept: work smarter, not harder. You know,
and that smarter versus harder is where I get so stuck. And if you look at my store right now, I've got a lot of low dollar items. I've got some higher dollar items, but the whole idea of working, even if I've worked 15 or 20 minutes for that $3 item, you know, and I'm not bashing people that do that, because if you look at my store, I probably got some $4 and $5 items out there. But I think you just got to get that where you get to the point of, I'm not selling anything under $30.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's it, because it takes you the same amount of time to list something that you're going to sell for $100 as it is for something you're going to sell for $10.
Right, but I'm not saying have 100 items of $30, you know, each item at $30 that will never sell, because that doesn't do you any good either.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's where it's tough. It's not just a mindless go buy things and list them anymore. There's so much competition out there. You know, it's not as mindless as people think it is.
So DC Sales made a comment about long tail items. She says, I think long tail listings will drag you down. I feel like the algorithm treats your listings as a whole. If something is going to drag your listings down in the search, it does with all of them. I've never actually even thought of that, because a lot of my long tail stuff I just kind of have put away, and one day when it sells, it sells. I don't even think about long tail stuff, to be honest with you. But that's something to think about. I mean, if indeed long tail does hurt your sales, I've never noticed.
I agree. I agree with her 100%. I believe if you have a ton of slow moving stuff in your store, I feel it drags your store down, because it's telling, and this is nothing I know on a factual basis or anything, but I believe it's telling eBay that you have a bunch of product that people don't really care for.
Right. And theoretically, eBay should be promoting people's stores and people's products that sell things on a regular or faster basis, because eBay is making money quicker.
And with what you just said, you know, I'm not criticizing you. It's your thought process, but how, Anthony, you just said you have long tail items that you just kind of have put away and forget about.
Exactly.
If my feelings towards that is, if I've had my item so long that I will just forget about it, I've had it too long.
Yeah.
You know, I shouldn't have it long enough to where I just forget about it.
Yeah.
Then it's time to liquidate it, push it, and I at least try to get my break-even money back and reinvest it in something that's I'm not going to forget. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not
I've
downing
been
you.
a lot of that lately too. Like with going to the flea market and stuff, basically just grabbing the junk that I have listed to just get out of there.
Yeah, I like I say, I've changed my theory too. I used to try to hold out for that top dollar, and now I'm kind of doing. I don't pay much for anything. I don't. I refuse to. There's the only way I'm going to make money is to pay nothing and gain something.
Yeah.
So I'm changed over to that whole turn and burn.
Yeah.
Attitude,
Well, that's kind of where I've always been, Mo. Like, for example, if I can get a plush for 25 cents to 50 cents, I don't mind that sitting for a while. But by the same point, if the plush is listed for $20, someone offers me 15, I'm gonna accept it. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't mind that kind of stuff just kind of sitting on my shelf and selling when it sells. But by the same point, if I have an opportunity to just dump it for a profit, I'm going to do that 9 times out of 10, probably not 99 times out of 100. That makes more sense. But Nate brought up a really good point here as far as GoPros go. He said, did you know that you can take your old GoPro and trade it into GoPro for $100 off of like a GoPro Hero 7, like white, silver, black, or whatever it was. I might actually do that rather than like tinker with it, because I don't have time to make sure something is working.
It's up to $100.
So I may just be like, hey,
it's $100. They'll give you $100 credit, and it's any GoPro working or not.
Yeah.
So I will more than likely end up just doing that. I might just get the cheaper one that's like $200, drop another 100 into it and just be done. And I'll take
for the type of recording we do. I think GoPros are overpriced for what we need. There's plenty. I mean, action cams. You have your cheap ones out there that are just garbage, and I'm talking like your $20 ones. But if you get up into the $80 to $140 range, you can get a really nice action cam that you're not going to see the difference between a GoPro and my knockoff 8-man unless I'm showing you side-by-side video.
Right. Or you got heavy motion, moving a lot,
Like my camera, I can run around with it. It don't pixelize. It's got good image stability. The biggest complaint that I have about mine is low lighting. It doesn't handle it very well. But I don't think GoPros handle low lighting. I don't think any action camera really handles low lighting all that well.
Right. Because they're not made for studio quality. I hate to say studio quality, but that's the difference. Even looking at a GoPro at $300, you take a GoPro at $300 and compare it to a $1,000, $1,200 studio quality camera, you're gonna find advantages and disadvantages to both.
It's like I have an old iPhone, the iPhone 6S. My buddy was just telling me he just picked up that iPhone XR. He paid $1,000 or something for it. I paid $75 for mine. And what can he do on his iPhone that I can't? He's like, well, I can log in with my face.
Who cares?
I can log in with my thumb. So, it's like, what can you do? Maybe you're it's a little faster, but mine's not slow enough to where it impedes what I do.
Yeah, for sure. That's the main reason I've stuck with the iPhone I've had for like the last 2 years now. And it is what it is. It's perfectly fine.
I mean, just because there's an expensive product out there doesn't always mean it's the best buy. Just expensive doesn't make it. It probably is better quality build and stuff like that. But look at what you're going to do. Do you really need high production quality videos to walk through a thrift store?
Right.
You need clear.
I would like YouTube to be as good as it can be, but I don't know. I feel like the quality of my video is good with just the iPhone footage that I take most of the time.
The iPhone cameras are incredible. Only thing is that they're just awkward to carry around.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. You know,
I got
if you
one of
give me
these.
an iPhone- you give me an iPhone that was
I got one of these from Walmart. It's like a thing where you can like pull out and stick your fingers in it,
Oh,
Yeah.
those, Destiny. What is that
and
called?
then it can like turn into a kickstand too.
pop socket.
Yeah.
It's just like a generic one, but yeah, it
There-
makes it a little easier to hold.
I think I've mentioned it before. You go out there, and if anybody watches the Goon Squad, GOONZQUAD, they're a car, and they rebuild cars and stuff. They've got over 1 million subscribers. They're making bank on YouTube. And I caught a reflection in one of their videos of one of the cars they were working on, and the guy's holding a iPhone. And their videos are incredible, you know.
Sure.
The cherry picker asked, so what if you just, I think she's going back to the listing. So what if you just tweak your title, price, and stuff? Does that put it back up, or only ending and restarting? I believe anytime you touch your listing, it does something in the algorithm to bring it back up a little bit. But you can only tweak so much, so many times, you know, before you run out. How can I title this better? I can't take any better pictures, and I'm not going to go any lower on price. So at that point, I feel it's time to, that's when you would go and end it and relist it. Not relist, sell similar, because that's going to give it a whole new ID, started out as a fresh listing. But I think anytime you touch a listing, it makes a difference. I mean, I'll go in and I touch 25 to 30 of my listings a day, whether it's a price tweak, whether it's just shuffling some words around in the title. You know, I've done that for a long time, and it makes a difference, because there's things, if I don't touch it, all of a sudden I touch it and it sells. Did it sell because I touched it, or did it sell because the right person came across it coincidentally at that time?
Yeah.
Again, it's something that nobody really knows, and I don't know anybody that can prove or disprove it. It's just a theory, you know.
Yeah.
Right. But Michelle Lathan had a good point when we were in the discussion of long tail items. She said, has anybody ever had a niche long tail store in addition to their normal store? You know,
that was a great question. That would be good to know.
we were talking about
changing my store like to be more like that, because the one I'm using right now, like, I don't have a real good upload tracking rate, because 30% of my business has basically been Pokemon cards since I started a year ago on, doing eBay full time. So that's keeping me out of top rated status. So I've been thinking about starting a new store and basically just having that new store be stuff that is like the quick turnaround stuff that I can quickly upload tracking and all that stuff for.
I don't know. I'd be curious to see, like, talking about yearbooks. Would there be any advantage to me just having a store? And I don't have a lot of yearbooks, and I'm getting away from them, but would there be an advantage to have a store that has nothing but my yearbooks in it?
Yeah.
You know,
that's what I was thinking. Like, I could have a store just for cards and long tail stuff, because who cares about my stats there? You know what I mean? And then all the other stuff will make that, more of like a store that's basically niche down.
Right. Well, that's like, I have two stores. Neither one are secret. Both are publicly out there. One is the Bargain Effect. The other one, I'm not active in it. The Pixies Treasure Picks or something. It was one that we set Destiny up with so she could learn it from ground up, but she just don't have the passion for it. So now it just kind of sits there idly. And it's a store that I'm going to turn over to more of a drop ship store. And I'm going to do drop shipping out of it, because if you drop ship, you can't be top rated. You can't get all the little boosts. You can totally drop ship on eBay with no problems. You just can't get all the top rated discounts, and you're playing possibly with late shipments and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's probably what we're going to do with the other store. And I'd want to keep that part of the business separate from my everyday, where I'm shipping, I'm handling, I'm fingerprinting every piece that I'm selling.
Right.
For that reason.
I'm really curious I'm very curious to understand if those long tail items are dragging your store down. In my head, from an eBay perspective, that makes sense. You
Yeah.
know? Like I said earlier, if eBay wants to make money as quickly as they can off every seller.
For sure.
You know, if I've got items that are selling quicker, is that going to boost me up in the search rankings? And if I've got slower items that are just sitting there, they're not getting views. Does that affect my store overall? I don't know. I'm curious. You know? Anybody know? Y'all got me thinking now.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at some of these big sellers they're in very niche markets, you know? And I'm not saying make that your primary, but is there an advantage to taking those quick items and moving them off by themselves, or they're slow items and moving them off by themselves? I don't know. But it's really gotten the wheels turning in my head.
FGS asked, any concerns about eBay changing their algorithm so relisting doesn't have an effect now, and that they are pushing to get listings seen in Google?
I think
It's something that I'm not going to primarily be concerned about. I imagine they might do something where it's going to recognize, look, this ain't a new listing. It's the same pictures. It's, you know, same weights, whatever. They'll be able to identify that it's just a relisted item. You know, they may do that at some point. They may do it now, you know. I don't really know. I'm not really concerned about it. I will do the sell ending and sell similar until I see that it's not working.
right.
You
My
know?
whole approach with the whole eBay and Google and all that, you know, Google, an item you have on eBay will not show up in eBay in Google for 30 days.
Right.
And theoretically, truthfully, I don't have anything 30 days. So I can sell everything within 30 days. You know, and my approach is I'm not worried about Google.
Yeah, optimally, you don't want it to show up in Google. You want it gone before it would even hit their catalog.
Right. I would worry much more about how something showed up in the eBay search than I did the Google search. I may be wrong for that, but that's the approach I take. You know, I would be curious to see what percentage of sales on eBay are people coming from just Googling something and finding it on Google and clicking through to an eBay store. You know?
Okay. There's a couple of things I would like to address here. First one is Taylor's Place says, Tommy, do you think title or condition or description is more important than the other, or do they all work in conjunction? I believe they all work in conjunction. I think you should have your listing optimized all the way through. If you just focus on the title and are sketchy about your description, it's going to hurt you in the long run. Or your condition, if you don't undersell it, over deliver it is my theory, and try to optimize every part. Optimize your title, optimize your pictures, optimize your condition, your description, your shipping. Optimize it as much as you can, because every little bit is going to help.
Well, I agree with about 90% of that. I think the one thing that's going to really play more into the algorithm, in my opinion, and anybody that thinks any different, feel free to chime in. I think just the value of description is trending downward, in my opinion. It's part of it right now. But I think even after eBay opened, when they talked about item specifics, I think item specifics are going to take much higher value than description at some point, if they haven't already.
As far as selling your product, I believe that I pretty much agree with you. I don't think it's as important as it used to be.
Description, you mean?
Yeah. The description, because people are photo shoppers now. They shop by picture. Nobody wants to read anymore. I use the description basically to cover myself, to name any flaws, so they can't say, oh, well, I got this and it didn't say anything. It's not as described. No, I use the description basically as an extension of my condition.
But shouldn't any of that information be in the condition? And I'm not trying to shoot you down. I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying.
I believe it should be in the condition. I do a lot of duplicate, but if you go and you look at a listing, especially on your phone, your condition is like 4 words long
Right.
You
They'll get chopped off.
actually click into that to read the whole condition. Same in your description. Mobilely, you have to click a whole extra step to read a description. So the more places I can put it, the more I'm covered.
Right. I think everything gets back to, and I'm not trying to bash eBay. For a company that's been around so long, they are so far behind on some technology issues. You know, I really struggle because so many. I think there's a high percentage of people that are buying from mobile, and their mobile experience is far from perfect. Like you're talking about, what gets chopped off on the condition. You have to click another click to get the description. You know, and it's tough. Yeah. It's like they're still stuck in that desktop or web browser first design versus being mobile first. Make it right on mobile and adjust for the desktop. Yeah.
Another thing that I wanted, Nathan here says, I think Bolarama said it, that ending and relisting an item doesn't help you. And I believe he actually said it hurts you. I would disagree with that theory. Because I've had many of things, not just a handful, many of things that have gotten stale in my inventory and ended it and relisted it and sold it within 24 hours of not, well, relisting. Relisting, I believe, may hurt you. You have to use the sell similar feature, so it puts it up as a brand new listing. Because it's going to give it a new product ID. I believe eBay sees it as a new. When you initially list a new product, you get that 48 or 72 hour initial boost, depending on the reaction. Just same as YouTube videos, depending on the reaction that your video gets, depends then what they do with it and how much more they're going to push it in ranking.
Right. I think the whole eBay algorithm is. It's a you could talk for days, weeks, months about it. And I think the whole thing is, and I think I mentioned this before, is when you make a change like that, is it the fact that you restarted it, refreshed it, stopped it and sell similar, or is it the fact that you touched that listing? Is it the fact that I dropped my price? Is it the fact that I changed my title, or is it the fact that I touched it? That's what's always going through in my mind. Is it the fact that I made a change, or is it the change that I made? And I think that's what's so tough about understanding or trying to understand how the algorithm works.
You know what I think about the algorithm? Once you think you have the answers, they go and change all the questions.
Yeah, they change it, and everybody's theory on eBay's algorithm, mine, Craig's, everybody's, it's a theory. We don't know, because you know what? If we knew how to play the algorithm, we would never have product to sell, because
we'd be balling.
Right.
We'd be like Amazon balling.
I don't even think that eBay knows exactly how their algorithm works, because it's written by so many different people. I don't think there's any one person that could say, I know 100% how to manipulate the whole algorithm to have my listing show up top notch every time.
Taylor's Place says, sometimes I think there's a monkey behind the curtain controlling the levers for the algorithm.
What was that in The Wizard of Oz, when they get up there and the Oz is talking, they all walk behind. They don't walk behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's very similar with Amazon. I mean, like, I know Kelly posted the buy box information, but with the buy box, it's still mysterious. Like, and yeah, I mean, I always joke it's Jeff Bezos in some back office smoking a cigar with his feet kicked up laughing, because you'll talk to people that have worked at Amazon or have sold on Amazon for many years, and the buy box is just one of those things that's such a mystery. So, yeah.
If you look at all these search engines, I mean, the buy box is pretty much a search engine optimization type deal.
Right.
Google, I guess they keep it mysterious to keep it competitive.
No, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
FGS in here, she made a very good point. She says, I'm thinking perhaps being seen in Google may be great for multi-quantity or replenishable listings. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're going to have replenishable, something you're going to be restocking, yeah, then you would definitely want to make sure that you're optimizing to show up and people are finding it in Google as well.
Because if it's replenishable, you're going to have a multi-quantity listing. You're going to replenish it. It's going to stay out there, and it's going to stay not stale, but it's going to stay available. So you
Right.
want to drive traffic to that one. But
Absolutely.
for the one-offs, that's a totally different approach, I think.
Yep.
Wow. God, it's 20 till 11. My time. We've been going at it for an hour and 40 minutes.
It is. And didn't I say I wasn't going to stick around too long?
Easier said than done.
Right. And then they're talking about the importance of item specifics. And I believe item specifics are very important. My theory behind the item specifics, well, they talk about it. They're trying to build a catalog. I believe they're trying to build a catalog like Amazon has. So when you put a product in, a listing's already going to come up pretty much ready made, you know. And I think that's their whole purpose of their catalog and why they keep adding more and more to their item specifics or their catalog, as they call it.
Right.
I think right now it seems, you know, there's a lot of people that complain about, oh, there's more and more items in their content, and they're changing it. And they do. Like I was doing jeans, and they changed it from mid-rise to mid-dash rise. So anything that I had the other way before they changed it now did not fit that catalog thing. So I had, you know, it can be a pain, but I think they're trying to optimize their catalog. So 2 years, 3 years, maybe even take 5 years, who knows? It will be easier to list on eBay. I think that's all part of their process.
Right. With I definitely think the items specifics, they're trending up now. I think it won't be long before item specifics potentially take over description. From a technology perspective, when you use the filter on the left-hand side, if you're searching eBay, all those things over there are pointing directly at item-specific values. You know, and that's just so much easier from a technology perspective for them to filter down and present the right results. But yeah, if you're not already filling in all as much of the item specifics as you can, I would strongly suggest that. And they're even getting to the point where they suggest the item specifics you should be using.
Yeah.
I think you're doing yourself an injustice by not filling those in my opinion.
For sure.
But wow.
Moronic Pest says I recently 1% promoted a listing that ranked last on page, and within a minute it was ranked first on page. Ending isn't always necessary. And that's true. I'm not telling anybody go out there and end your listings every 60 days. What I'm saying is that's what I do, especially if I see the item isn't getting any views. If it's not being watched by, if it has no traffic, it's time to do something with it. Whether it's go in there, promote the hell out of it, put it on sale, tweak your listing, or end it and sell similar. Do something with it.
Right.
Gary, I do highly recommend promoting your listings. Tommy Bernard says it a lot, but eBay is becoming a pay-to-play type of platform. So I actually, before I left, when I went in vacation mode, because I figured I was going to have some trouble with sales, I actually bumped mine up to 2% from 1%. But yeah, I promote everything at least 1%.
I do the same. And I mean, really, and a lot of times, even promoting it may not even sell from that promoted portion, you know, because when you do a promoted listing, you get that sponsored listing and you get your normal one. If they don't click on the sponsored one and they click on the other one, you don't pay a fee.
Yeah. I want to say thanks to Melissa W too for dropping all those links. That was awesome to do.
She is like the best moderator.
Yeah,
She's my PayPal. She's my PayPal. Whenever we do Donna's auctions and we have to take a break, we cover each other.
That's awesome. Yeah. Has anyone talked to Lisa C lately?
She's doing it. She lost her power. She was in Stewart.
I figured because she's a Florida resident, so I haven't seen her lovely face in the chat.
I think she stepped away for a while. I got a message from her on Instagram a handful of days ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I haven't talked to her since the storm, so I don't know what's going on there.
Just like to check in on awesome people, make sure she's okay.
Exactly.
Right. So I mean, we can go on and on and on talking about algorithms and what you should do with your listings. My advice: just don't try not to let them go stale. And to beat that, try not to pick up the listings that are going to go stale. You know, ultimately, just try to source smarter and better, price right. Sometimes there's absolutely nothing wrong with your listing other than when you comped it, it was selling at such and such a price. Now you haven't looked at it in 2-3 months and price has dropped on it, and now it's not going to sell.
Gary wants to know, what do you consider a lot of views? I think it would depend on the item and its popularity. I mean, I don't know. Like, some of my stuff has, I think, a lot of views, 200-300, but it just depends on, in my eyes, what the item is, because there's stuff like, if it's a long tail, there's not going to be a lot of people searching for that type of an item. But I mean, there's some items because let's be real, if it's like over 1,000 views, somebody's probably going to buy it. If over 1,000 people look at that item, one of the people will probably end up buying it. But I don't know what you guys think. What would you say, Tommy?
I agree with you. It depends. I have some items that are very specialty items, so it's not going to get the same amount of views, nowhere near the same amount of views as a common item that everybody's looking at.
Yeah.
But if you have something listed for 2-3 months and you see there's no traction, it's only had 10 views on it.
Promoting will change that too. You know what I mean? Like, because I noticed, and I'm just fully transparent. I have some stuff in my store that probably has no business being in there. You know what I mean? Like, I've noticed that I'd have an item up for maybe like 2 weeks, might have like 9 views. But then whenever I promote it, those view counts start to climb.
Right.
Because sometimes I'll just list and I'll wait till I have like 10, 20, however many, and then I'll just go in and I'll just bulk add those into my promotion. So I don't like list an item, put it in, list an item, put it in. I'll list several items, and then, within a day or so, I'll go and add that into my promoted listings. So I'll notice that there's not very much traction, and then I'll promote it, and then boom, it sells.
I made a comment on, and it's completely off topic, but along the lines of what you're talking about. I'm in a Poshmark group on Facebook, but if I see things, in my feed, I'll read it every now and then. But somebody was talking about I struggle with selling these items and all that, and I made a generic comment, and I mentioned it in here before, and I think it's so true. If you have, and they were talking about slow items not being able to sell as much, I said the key to selling on any of these platforms is having the right product priced appropriately.
Yeah,
I mean, I hate to make it simple, but in the end, we can talk about all these things about how to get your things and hiring the algorithm and how you should run promotions. The key is, as a buyer, you're looking for the right price on an item that you're looking for, right?
Right.
Think like a buyer. It's that simple. If you have the item at the right price that people are looking for, it'll sell. That doesn't mean that I need to have this empty monster can priced at a right price, because nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah.
Have the right products priced appropriately, and they should sell. It's easy to say, but it's it's hard when people are concentrating more on filling the store up. Listen, activity helps, but in the end, does it help to list this monster can? And I'm not. Please don't think I'm berating people for listing smaller items and items myself, because I do it myself. But I'm just trying to think of it logically.
What do you want for that monster can, Craig?
I would say, God, I was going to list it at $39.99.
Half empty.
No, it's
like,
I think for you, I'll do $39.98. Free shipping.
That there, guys, is genuine land shark picker backwash.
I would love to ship this to a viewer. Anybody that's interested, reach out. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It's tough because I can see both sides of it. Part of my brain says, focus on those things that are decent priced, and I don't know. I really struggle with that low margins and high margin items, and having those right products. There's so many things that people end up with that they feel like they got to list.
Yeah,
I'm not berating people that do that, because like I said, I do it myself. But that's the constant battle I have in my head. Cliff says they'll give me a toonie, $2.
A toonie.
I'll tell you what. Before I ship it to you, I'll have to crush it because it'll be easier to ship. Would that be okay?
What's the $1 one called? Ash just got one of those from a Looney. Okay. Yeah, Ash's Graham just gave her one of those right before I left.
Danny Deep Fried Deals. I'll drop the link.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Craig. Yeah, definitely, guys. Feel free to jump into that Facebook group. It's a great supportive place. You can, if you make content, you can drop your stuff there. So I always like when people drop their videos, and I can go and watch them.
Yeah, it's wide open. We're not going to be control freaks.
Yeah, I will
promote
you right now too. To be a member.
Nate says you got to send it simple export, so size in this case won't matter. Okay. I'd have to put a lot of bubble wrap in it, possibly stuff some peanuts down inside of it to keep, make sure it doesn't crush. Because there will be collectible value for that.
You're in.
Yeah.
Join the parish. Yeah, join.
All right. I will preview right now as well.
I'll send the invoices out for all the members here today. No, I'm kidding. Nice. All right, y'all want to cut it off? I know we've been going almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we're gonna head out and do a little sourcing.
We're gonna hit a special store that's one of my honey holes.
Oh yeah.
You've seen them. You've seen it in one of my videos a long time ago, and Anthony's gonna see it firsthand now.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Nate says YouTube reseller backwash, I guess, is in demand nowadays. Heck yeah, $39.99.
That's a bolo for you.
Yep.
Exactly. I've got a Sharpie around here somewhere. I will autograph it.
I don't even. Oh wait, there might be a little splash of backwash in my Pepsi. But yeah, it's not as valuable as Craig's.
$59.99.
You know what though? My water.
Lipstick involved in that.
Look, imagine how much backwash would be in there, guys.
Oh my God, you guys are grossing me out, man.
Tommy's like, you're ruining my channel. Get off.
I don't care about that. This is my own stomach. But I want to thank Tiffany for coming in and kind of giving us the Amazon aspect.
No, thank you guys for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
I love it when you join, Tiff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I do too, because I think I was just talking to Destiny about this morning, that I think Tiffany has a lot of information and value to provide that we can't provide because we're not Amazon sellers. You know? And I mean, it seems like a majority of our chat is eBay based, but I do know there is some Amazon people in there.
Yeah,
right.
And there might be other people that, they aren't coming to the show because we don't talk Amazon. Maybe if we had a little bit more information and value, they'd be like, oh, hey, now somebody's talking about something that I want to learn about, because I don't care about eBay, because there's some people that just don't care about eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
We definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I love talking about Amazon. So
I never picked up on that yet.
and I want to learn a lot about Amazon. So
I do too.
Perfect match,
Your PayPal payment should come from thebargaineffect@gmail.com. So
it'll be. I'm going to send it out right away.
There you go.
All right. So with that, I think we're gonna shut her down, and I think everybody in chat should go learn something about eBay today that they didn't know yesterday, and then tell me about it in tomorrow's show.
That'll be good. Tomorrow will be on my channel, guys.
Yeah, we'll be on Anthony's channel. So that's my eBay challenge. Go figure something out on eBay that you can tell me you learned you didn't know yesterday.
It'll be a normal show tomorrow, guys, because we're gonna be heading up to New Hampshire. So it'll be probably about an hour show tomorrow.
Yeah. We got a nice little drive tomorrow.
Well, that's all right. You just make up what support with video footage that you'll upload later.
Oh, I will.
There we go.
Definitely.
Yep.
I'm gonna go do some video right now when we go out sourcing, and I'll probably do some video wherever we eat too, because I'm liking all this New England grubbage that he's put me up on.
Don't do any footage of the spooning, please. We prefer not to see that.
Of the spooning?
Yeah. I'm kidding.
No, that's just for me and Derek.
I'm kidding. That's on your private channel, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then as always, like I always tell, if anybody has any questions, like sometimes people don't want to ask questions in the chat because they feel I'm gonna look dumb. I don't think there's any dumb questions ever. Feel free, email me at thebargaineffect@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all under The Bargain Effect. I always love to help people out, so feel free to contact me with any questions, any ideas, or if you disagree with me on something and you think you can sway my mind, give it a try. You know, I'm always trying to learn something. But with that, I got things to do. So everybody have a good day.
Oh, guys. All right.
Enjoy it, guys.
And we are out. Peace, everybody. Be productive.